The deputy should be close to you. And engineer, director engineer.
The deputy is doing a lot of networks with engineer one. Yes.
The ED is going to present, of course, but I was asking him how far with the Nakivubo floods challenge. How are we standing?
No. We, by and large, it's now okay. The Baganda call it tuliyadde Congo mu by'omweru, that at least is somehow better. You know, when you get an ugly person but is brown, you can go with it. So far so good. There is minimal floodings and so on. The other details of how we are moving the programs, and actually it will submit on that. But I thank the minister. He has assembled a team, he seconded for us a team, which is really now doing technical work along the Nakivubo Channel project. So I thank the Ministry of Works, which came in handy, and they are guiding on the ongoing constructions. And indeed, that one has resulted into one achievement, that when it downpours a lot like the other time when we registered over 1,200 millimeters of rain, it took us only 10 minutes for water to clear. So that shows you there's some good work of works in NEMA and KCCA under supervision.
So all the happenings, you equally take responsibility.
As long as they are the other technical happenings, yes. The rest I may not. But as long as the hydrological happenings, those ones, yes, because they are now under our supervision. So please, Eddie.
Medi, we are on Nakivubo channel. Those ones are distracting you. The minister has said that all those who are making noise in Kampala and in Nakivubo, HAM has been officially authorized to construct the channel and is doing it in the interest of you people of Kampala. Now,
you chair, that is why I also want the one of Industrialia so that I help them.
But Honorable Minister, let the ED continue, but politically, socially, whichever formula that that was a blunder to privatize the Nakivubo channel. Whichever interest, there is a lot of land elsewhere, whoever wanted to construct whichever mall, whichever shops, whatever. This country, this world, this money.
Chair, because at least we know that the Nakivubo channel is up to Lake Victoria. Yeah, so how many kilometers were allocated to her? Because it's not the whole channel.
No.
Yeah, it's not that. So that's why I want to. How many kilometers?
I think
because the way people perceive out there, it's like the whole channel.
Let's hear from the ED. And
to maintain 2,104 kilometers is one of the biggest jobs that I've heard about. And that is of road. And now you would imagine that drainage would be two shoulders, on the left and on the right. Therefore, if the road network is 2,104 kilometers, you would multiply by 2. In an area that receives average rain per annum of over 1,888 millimeters. Now, this is just a recipe for disaster, and it will clearly imply that even the roads that we shall do will be eroded by the surface runoff that comes from the other areas that are not worked on. And that's why, as the minister is appealing, he must realize it's like ironing one arm on a shirt and not ironing the other, or washing the shirt one side and not the other. At the end of the day, someone will hardly draw the distinction. So I sympathize with you, but this goes to the priority ministry that helps you in this infrastructure appropriation. And I would like to thank the Honorable Katumba Wamala for all purposes he has tried not only to be the spokesperson of his ministry, but also be physically present to explain to the public. But the only thing he cannot explain, which is beyond his control, is the constant occurrences of floods. And the reason is old and worn out drainage. 2, absence of drainage in some areas. You know, estates come up every other day from Kampala and the metropolitan. You know, I mean, someone comes up with an estate, does not draw any plans of having drainage passages, and the water has no boundaries. As it comes from Chira or from Wakiso, it finds its way into Kampala with all the erosion and the silt that it comes with, blocks the partially done drainage channels, and with a budget of 10 billion shillings for over 4,800 kilometers of drainage, I think this will always be a nightmare and a recipe for floods. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, I want to request that we
60 billion shillings for drainage maintenance and improvement in the city.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have 2 observations. If you look at the road which is coming from LDC, another road comes from Makerere College. That stretch, the road is worked on. There is a small portion of it's not yet worked on, and they have painted the road. I don't know what is the sense of
Which section? Between
you see, as you come from LDC, it is well done. Yes. Okay? Gaddafi Road. Then this car. You're joining from Gaddafi Road, joining LDC. Yes. It's worked on. Yes. Then in front, if you go further, there's a road which comes from up, where the hostel, Makerere College hostel is.
Yes.
It's not worked on. And then down, small road is also worked on. It's already painted, but that small is not worked on. Another observation, Madam ED, it is in Kisenyi roads, especially in Kisenyi 2. There are 5 roads, small roads. They started working on 2, the 3 have not yet been worked on. What's the status of the 3? Kisenyi, that's my Kisenyi 2.
Okay, proceed.
In 1814, there was a ruler, there was a monarch in France. Yes. One philosopher commented about it. In fact, it is a question they said, that they forgot nothing and learned nothing. If I can set the question that the Committee of Physical Infrastructure, they forgot nothing and learned nothing, discuss.
It's a wrong question. The question was, the way they used to set it, they learned nothing. They did not first forget. They first learned and forgot. So I would tell you it's a wrong question.
The question was justified.
The question was justified. So, for the last so many years I've been on this committee, this infrastructure, and we've learned nothing and forgotten nothing. For the last 5 years, we are singing about the floods in Kampala. And we have continued allocating 10 billion, and we are expecting Madam ED and the Minister to do miracles. Have we learned anything? Yet the standard they tell you in the city, if you want to reduce floods, reduce on the concentration of debris and garbage in the drainage system. If you want to control floods, reduce on the concentration of garbage and debris in the drainage system. We've learned nothing and forgotten nothing. Chair, we have continued allocating 10 billion. And Kampala capital city, it is the city of, in fact, even where the state house is. In fact, when the mayor was talking it here, because this committee is being seen all over, I almost wanted, if I had the powers, I would stop these people of the media to record it, because it is a shame. You are allocating 10 billion. I've told you, Chair, several times here that the quality of the road is directly proportional to the quality of its drainage system. And you are having over 2,000, coming to 3,000 kilometers, and you are allocating 10 billion. And my chair is seated. And we are watching you, and I'm looking at you, and we have. And they are asking for 55 billion. 55 billion to do what? Look at the ratio of the road to the ratio of the drainage, and we're asking 55 billion, whereby 65% of our roads are dilapidated. What would the 55 do?
Next.
You need Chair.
Next.
Chair,
Honorable Kayondo.
I'm finishing.
We have agreed 2 minutes.
Chair, lastly, because I'm the only DP in the house, so. Chair, where is the local content in the award of the contracts?
That one I wanted actually, because I see Chinese.
What is that 30%? We have our people, but it's not indicated here. And in the parliament, we don't allow assumption. Very lastly, we are having duplication of contractors. We have one person is having 3 contracts here, another is having 4. Where are the others?
That prohibited in
I already had 6 comments, but I respect you. Maybe others are put in the right.
Next.
Thank you.
Next.
My question starts pending the question I raised earlier on, that how much of the Nakivubo channel is still remaining, how many kilometers were given out. Yeah, and you are the chairman of the subcommittee. I don't know what you found out. You remember the subcommittee? We are waiting for the report.
You're out of order.
And the members are here. We don't want it to look like the Busega committee. You remember when the deputy speaker went to the team to Busega and people?
Next.
So, Chair, that was, I was waiting for a response. 2, it's on the issue of grading. We can blame the ministry, blame KCCA, blame what, but I think first things first. What happened to Ugandans? Why would they continue dumping garbage on the channel, on the drainage systems in Kampala? What are our LC1s doing? What happened to the community involvement in ensuring that where they live? Because you find these bottles, Kavera.
It's not only KCCA.
I'm saying, although I stayed in Tessa to road, I had to mobilize our LC1s every weekend. We must clear our drainage. There must be responsibility from the community. So that should start with you and me. But you go to Boise, we got money from the World Bank. We did that channel. But you go now, it's just, yeah, it's all clogged. And you see, because of that downstream, that's how it ends up blocking. Even the Lugogo, last time we were talking about Lugogo, it was because of the things which are all coming from Kamacha, carrying everything down. It reaches here, it finds the channel as narrow. It clogs it, and the water definitely finds its own way. So I am just putting that to challenge to all of us. Because however much money we give, if people are not disciplined, we shall still continue having.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable.
Chair, I'm going to complete, Chair. Chair.
Time.
I'm the only dependent here. And you know, I'm giving my farewell speech.
Time. How does it end up on this?
Chair, the other one is the issue which I always talked about. Has the land use changed in Kololo, Nakasero, Naguru, them these places? I raised this matter last time in the park. We are waiting for the results. Go to Naguru here, Honorable Minister. The former Kembabasi. It's now a petrol station. Shell. Police officers, the IGP told me, say, what is happening?
Actually, just hold on. I just wanted to and, you know, every time I pass, something clicks my mind. Did you actually approve the works there that they put a petrol station?
So I'm raising it because Minister of Works is here.
Maybe they will give us a feedback.
The KCCA is here. How dare you put a petrol station. You can't believe now, even because now Jalos, the Minister of Justice, also moved there. In the morning, in the evening, because people are going to KFC, they're going to Cafe Jabas there, people are going to the minister. The jam in now in that Naguru place. But how? So tomorrow we shall have a petrol station in Kololo, in the air, around the airstrip. So where was fiscal planning? Who approved it? Where is the person responsible for fiscal planning in Kampala? In Kampala. We raised the issue of spear motors last time, Honorable Minister, my OB. You remember the issue of spear motors, Honorable Minister Kampala? I keep reminding you about spear motors. How that place has blocked somebody as first off. You have not. You said you are going to demolish it. You have failed. You have failed or you have refused. The other day I was seeing my brother Musa Cheru saying is chasing away the carbon people by Monday. Their cars are just increasing on the road itself. I don't know whether they have forgotten what they said.
Okay, let's go to the next member.
Finally, okay, give me the final one, Chairperson. I had so many things, you know, we live in Kampala. The issue of the road fund. There are town councils that never received money for the last 4 years. The money been provided this year for those town councils, to cover that. Sema Water Road, you came on in Tinder, you came and cut off in order to cut the borehole, the potholes. You did only halfway. It's now a month. The other ones have remained. The potholes which you are cutting to in order to repair have expanded. When are you coming to complete that?
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson, and through my minister. Okay. Thank you. Through my minister, I will straight away go to the policy statement. And Chairperson and members, I would like to inform you that under the Integrated Transport and Infrastructure Services, KCCA is responsible for undertaking interventions that address urban mobility bottlenecks and deliver enhanced transport infrastructure services in Kampala, capital city. The KCC's strategy for the medium term under NDP4 is to increase the stock of paved roads which are in good condition. Currently, the road network we have is 2,104 kilometers, of which 38%, which is 799.5 kilometers, is paved, while the rest is unpaved. They are in form of gravel or earth roads. Of the paved road network, 61.49% is in fair to good condition. Most of our roads in the city have outlived their design life and require reconstruction. For the financial year 2025-2026, we had an approved budget and by the end of the second quarter, 300.4 billion had been released, out of which 138 has been spent, representing an absorption capacity of 6.2%. The low absorption, Chairperson and members, was on account of majorly externally finance projects, i.e. 0.8 and GKMA 22.7. This performance is mainly due to a number of implementation challenges, which include, but most of them, as we talk now, that was as at December 2025. Some of the challenges we had was on relocation of utilities on most of the roads, because relocation of utilities is not internal to KCCA. We have to work with the utility companies, which also go through their own pre-qualified service providers to do the relocation. We only pay and then they do the work. So some of the major works on the road cannot start without completion of these relocation works. They delayed us a lot on most of the GKMA roads, like Jira Road and those major roads within the city. So that's why you see that low absorption. But as of last week, most of the roads relocation works have been done, and we are going to move quickly on that. The other issue was acquisition of right of way and supply chain disruptions, especially for supply of bituminous materials which we usually import from out of the country. The issue of right of way, we have been using voluntary acquisition of right of way. We negotiate with the owner of the land and then we acquire it voluntarily. But we have been having some PAPs who are not willing to do that, and they have delayed the process, yet our budget does not provide for compensation. So in terms of fiscal performance, overall progress on KCCA project stands at 70.3 against the planned performance which we had targeted, which is 85.3%. While on GKMA, we stand at 17.5 against what we had planned, which was 37.9%. Overall progress for the multi-year road contracts carried out forward from 2024-25 under GOU, Government of Uganda, was 92%, and progress on the new year road contracts under GOU by dot service is now at 7.87%. For the financial year 26-27, KCCA has been allocated 529 billion under the Integrated Transport and Infrastructure Services Program, out of which 202 billion is Government of Uganda Development, 120.7 is under KCCA, and 196.9 billion is for GKMA. Then we have 10 billion under Uganda Road Fund. Chair, this money under Uganda Road Fund is one which supports us to do pothole patching, maintenance of roads, and also part of drainage repairs and maintenance. So that is the money under Road Fund where we are having only 10 billion. So this reduction accounts for 14.8% from the 621.8 billion, which was previously allocated to us in the financial year 25-26. The 140 billion, which was allocated for commencement of the project under chorus at the first in the first budget call circular, was removed in the second budget call circular. And as such, as we stand now, we do not have money to commence works under that project, yet it was going to account to approximately 145 kilometers of road under Kampala, which we are going to be reconstructed and improved. The key outputs for financial year 26-27 include completion of 7.6 kilometers of carryover multi-year contracts and construction of 35.9 kilometers of new contracts by DOT, and then this is under GOU development. Completion of KCCA project roads, which include, among others, Mperere-Kitezi Road, construction of 36.0 kilometers of road, and then construction of 7 drainage black spots, which the minister talked about. We also have under GKMA construction of Gaba Market and Osafi Market. Our critical unfunded activities, Honorable Chairperson, we have roads and drainage maintenance under the road fund, where we have only been allocated 10 billion against a requirement of 55 billion, leaving us with a funding gap of 45 billion. Then drainage improvements, including construction of 18.9 kilometers of community drains, completion of 1 kilometer of refugee drainage channel, and construction of box culverts at 103 drainage black spots. This intervention requires 136.5 billion. Chair, this intervention here is what we will see our draining of runoff water from Kampala roads at 2 minutes. At the moment, we are at 7 minutes after the rain stop, and that's why we are seeing some relative flash floods when it rains in Kampala. When we are funded in this area, it will go a long way in draining water swiftly out of our roads, out of our communities when it rains. We have another critical unfunded area, which is maintenance of the KCCA fleet, which includes garbage trucks, engineering equipment, and administrative vehicles. Here we are looking for only 5.6 billion. Then we are also requesting for reinstatement of the 140 billion to allow KCCA commence implementation of the Kampala Roads, City Roads Bridges Upgrading Project, which is commonly known as CORAS. Chairperson and members, through my minister, allow me invite my director for strategy management and business development to present the performance of the year and other areas which were required to present today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.